Hello everybody and welcome to the update video for November of 2019 going into December and really going into next year 2020. This is not an update video I thought I'd ever get to make. I didn't think last year when I think I made my first one around this time, maybe even a month later, I didn't think we'd be doing this a year on. So thank you everybody for all the support, the watching, the money, the shares, all the kind of stuff that people do to support what it is I've been trying to do. And it has all basically been on the Twitch side. I haven't really had the chance to do any of the other stuff I wanted, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about. When I made my first update video, I think I was saying that we probably last until March of 2019. It's November, we're still going. That's great. I'm happy. I hope everyone else is happy. We've made a few changes on the Twitch side. Now, if we're going to try and do this for another year, so I'm, November 2020, if I still want to be here making these update videos, then we've got to start pushing more things harder. And that's kind of what I want to start talking about. But we'll start with the Twitch side of things, because that's where everything comes from, basically, is on the Twitch side of things. So let's start with that. I'm still highly enjoying Twitch streaming. Another thing I didn't think I would be saying a year, 18 months, however long it's been, almost 2 years, I think, really. I assumed, like so many other things I've tried, it would be a flash in the pan. It'd be a come and go. Streaming would be fun for a while, do it, move on. That hasn't turned out to be the case, and that it surprised me a lot, in that I'm willing to do it. And I know a lot of people see it as a very easy thing to do, and in many ways it is. But on the other side of things, any work, if you don't enjoy it, is laborious. With Twitch streaming, apart from probably 5 streams maximum where I have not enjoyed them while I've been doing them, every single one has been an absolute ton of fun. Whether I'm stuck by myself or whether I happen to be doing it at a time where people can join in, I will always allow people that I know to join in the stream if they're available, even if it does change my plans for the stream. Not that I really plan my streams that far ahead anyway, just because it's a nice change of pace. I wouldn't want to be doing that every stream, that's for sure. I do like the ones where I can just be, I mean, it's not that I'm not myself with other people, but where I can just talk as and when I want, basically, because it turns out I like to talk, which isn't really news, I guess, but kind of. I'm normally the quiet one who listens, so actually coming onto a platform and being the one who will talk and give my opinion is kind of, I do it in real life as well, but nowhere near as much as I do while streaming. So it's quite nice. And I think we've got a nice little crowd who keep on coming back, whether they be gluttons for punishment or whatever, doesn't matter. No, they keep on coming back. It makes me smile. Hopefully I make you all smile, and hopefully we can grow the Twitch side of things. Now, obviously, I've already lengthened my streams. We started at 2 hours. We then went to 4 hours. We then kind of inadvertently went up to 5-hour streams. Now I've made a conscious effort, and we're basically hitting 7-hour streams from noon GMT till 7 in the evening. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that up. The number of hours, in fact, I'd like to go to 8, but I think I would like to split them. But that clearly means if I split them, well, most of my audience is American. Most of my audience doesn't come online until really 2 p.m. UK time. So the kind of 12 to 2 bit is fairly slow, but it does give me time to warm up, which is another reason why I've been enjoying it. And people have been coming quicker and quicker, ladies and gents, which is great. but the growth has definitely been in the later sections. And then part of me wonders, should I start a lot later and just kind of do the same number of hours but push them back, start to finish. I finish at 7 p.m. GMT. Do I start to say, well, I'll finish at 9 instead and start at 2? I don't know, and there's many reasons for that. I don't know. One is, that's a huge chunk of time. It's a work day done in one sitting, and it really means you can't do anything else while you're doing the streaming side. And this is one of the things I've been trying to explain to people who are wondering why I'm trying to do this and why kind of my output on the other side has gone down. And I was trying to explain that when you're in an office job, you're there for 7 hours, but it's very rarely that you're doing the same thing for 7 hours. You're normally throwing many plates up in the air, watching 20 smash and trying to catch 2. And you spend a lot of time at the water cooler and having poops. But streaming is very different. When you're doing the streaming, you're streaming. You can't do anything else. You can't check your emails. You can't check your phone. You can, but I think it looks rude. I think I've done it maybe twice on stream while I've been waiting for important things to come in, but I've let everybody know that is the case. You can't really eat. The only thing I do is I take breaks to top up my tea or my coffee. That's needed. And obviously, if during the stream time I get caught short and I need to take a little personal break, or executive time, as Trump would call it, then I will do it. But I do try to keep all those disruptions down to a minimum. And so it's basically 7 hours. You're on for 7 hours non-stop. And it's very different for me in a way that I've really enjoyed. And I really want to keep on doing it for a lot longer. When I got affiliate, and the kind of whole idea of trying to push for partner came along, which I'm nowhere near. It would be a massive push to partner. I was kind of I don't really want partner. I don't really see the point of partner. Now that I'm here, I'm kind of like, I'd really like to push for partner. I'd really like to get up to the 75 average views. I don't know how I would do that, and I don't know if I can actually handle 75 people watching me at the same time and trying to engage in chat and have an active chat while still trying to keep control of it, because chat is the most important part of my stream as far as I'm concerned. That's why I do it, to interact, learn things, talk to people. But I have a mind next year to try and make a dedicated push up, see if we can get partner. But it would be a big decision, and one that I can't really make right now. And of course, I don't want to put everything into the streaming basket. Twitch could die tomorrow. And if that happened, okay, probably my regulars, I could say, look, Twitch is dead, let's go to Mixer. I don't know how you make money on Mixer. I don't know if they have a bits equivalent or what. Never looked into it that much. Or, I could end up on the YouTube streaming service, but then Google's being very cagey, I think, with what they want to do with YouTube. And it wouldn't surprise me if YouTube becomes a more closed platform in the future, as stupid as that sounds. So there are kind of a lot of things I need to consider as we do that, but I am very tempted to say, do you know what? Let's try it. Let's try and do the push for partner. And we can all go along that road and see if I get it or if I succumb to madness first. Which could be interesting to watch either way, I think. But let's try and get on to the other things. So I failed yet again. I completed NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, for those not in the know, or just don't give a shit. I completed it. My idea was to do it on stream and on my website. I didn't do either of those things. I just did it. Mainly because I caught the flu. I was writing while I had the flu, and I couldn't stream. Literally couldn't stream that. It was disgusting. I was coughing. I was farting. It was a thing. So I just kind of did it, and then I was going to put it all onto my website. But as I was reading it back, I realized that I was clearly writing it in a flu fever and it would need a shit ton of editing before I could put it up, which wasn't the point of me saying I'll do it, I'll put it on the website. It was meant to be this is how the story is going. I wanted people to interact with me, give me ideas, say things they didn't like, and the story would grow with the audience. But I just couldn't find the time to do it. Got ill, was put off it. Just wanted to get the 50,000 words done. Got the 50,000 words done. Boom, move on. That doesn't mean the writing stuff is finished. In fact, far from it. The series, which we're still calling Web, which I still need to give a better name because that name just sucks. Will be coming back. So the way I'm approaching that is in kind of chunks, if you like. So there's what have we got? So you got Douglas, you got the woman whose name I forgot. I can't remember my own character names. This is my brain. And then you've got the guy who's in the Sticky Icky. Those are kind of your three main stories, and then you've also kind of got you've got the hunter and the dog, and there's another thread. Wow, there's also all the stuff for kind of the gods and the bad guys. Yeah, let's call them the bad guys for now. No spoilers, because they are the bad guys. They're the invaders, so they must be the bad guys. So you've got the gargoyles as well. Already had a lot of complaints about the gargoyles and certain things. I may take them into consideration, I may not, I don't know. But basically we've got the first chunk done, and this is a by the seat of my pants story. This is not a spectacularly well planned out narrative. That's not the point of it. Think of this more as a Charles Dickens serial than a start to finish well thought out, well constructed novel. This is very much we're writing it so we can get the words out every week, which I haven't been doing because I'm not very good. But yeah, so that's kind of what Web is. But what I do what I do to make sure it's all makes sense and flows together in a way where, if you've ever read the pure serials of Dickens before they kind of condensed it all down into the books that you probably read in school, there was a lot of fluff, there's a lot of filler, and there's a lot of stuff that just didn't make any fucking sense. And although I'm trying to replicate this kind of serial run, I don't want the fluff, filler and nonsense. Maybe the nonsense. So breaking it down into chunks, the first chunk was literally how much can I do before November. It had no real end, it just kind of is there. So the second chunk is to try and move the story along till the next kind of big bit, which is what we're ramping up towards, and to take all of the main characters. So basically there's four main threads. You got the dead guy, you got the woman, you got the guy who's in the Sticky Icky, and you got the gargoyles. Between that you also have the hunter, and there's somebody else who I've forgotten. Maybe I haven't published any of that yet, I don't know. But they all weave into each other in a way that will eventually make sense. But basically the next big chunk is about 20 to 30 sections long. I'm a little bit unclear about that number, basically just based on whether I'm going to have to split certain sections into two just for word count and how long the post would be. I think there has to be I have to set in my mind a word limit for each post, which is meant to represent a chapter or part of a chapter, depending on novels you're used to reading. Some people will break up it's the same part of the story, which some people will say, well, that's a chapter, but it could be the same part of the story spread out over, 3 different character arcs, and they would break each different character arc up into a chapter. I definitely do that. Each character arc is broken down into its own section, but then within those character arcs there might just be too much to do. You could end up with a 5, 6, 7,000 word post. I think that's too long, so you'd probably split those into 2. And then if I did that, I'd have to do it in such a way where the split made sense and it wasn't just, oh, come back next week for the stunning conclusion. Don't want to do that. So there's a lot into it. I've got the kind of basic idea planned out. I know which characters I'm dragging into this particular part of the structure, where it starts, where it needs to end, and then all the bits that need to go through. I just haven't finished all of it. I'm about halfway through, I would guess, actually writing that, and I don't want to put anything out until it's done. So the plan is I will finish that by Christmas, and it will start going out as soon as I finish the last bit. The first bit's going out. There's my hand. That is the plan, and Web will continue. And that's going to be the kind of only real serial I'm working on at the moment, because I have a different idea that I really, really want to try out. Now, some of you have seen, this will be more on the YouTube side, and it kind of goes back to some of the other stuff I really, really wanted to do early on, which was radio plays, improv stuff. And the main issue I've had with the radio play stuff is getting other people interested enough to kind of, I throw a script together, we then act it out. That's been hard. It's not impossible, but it's hard. And I don't want to be blocked by the lack of other people, if that makes any sense. So I kind of just want to push forward. So I'm going to have to push forward with something I can do by myself, but then can also grow into something that can be done by multiple people, while involving multiple people. And my initial effort kind of was an average tale of things, which if you haven't seen, as probably for the best. I was kind of hopped up on cold meds when I made that as well. But it was a very small video trying the first road of an idea that I want to do. Strip the animation part out, because I don't think in the beginning, well, one, I can't do the animation myself. I tried, it was okay. I took a lot of artwork from royalty-free artwork sites so I could use them, and I threw this thing together. It was okay, but it doesn't do what I want it to do. And if I was going to go down the animation route, I would prefer it to be animated well-ish, at least to a South Park level, early South Park. But I don't think I could do that by myself, but I don't want to stop it as I try to get to that point. So the idea is, and I don't know if any of you would have heard of this, but there is a basic idea that all stories are the same and they follow a circle. And whether you're a fan of the 17-part circle or the 12-part, I tend to go for the 8-part, and the 8-part's going to work for what I want to do because it keeps it short and sweet. But it also means that I can ask for interaction as we do it. And when I say as we do it, this won't be live on Twitch. I would love to be able to get to a point where I feel confident to be able to do one live on Twitch, and that's kind of where we will push for. But in the beginning, it will very much be, I take ideas from wherever I take them, I produce something using those ideas, I put it up on YouTube, people go and watch it, and then we move from there. So, and I did pull this up so I could remember what the kind of 8-story structure are, made most famous most recently by a guy who does Community and stuff, Dan Harmon. And kind of where I can then take the inputs from. So his 8-point structure for a story is basically a character is in a zone of comfort is number 1. Number 2, but they want something, whatever that something is. 3, they are put into or they enter an unfamiliar situation, so change. 4 is they then adapt to that change. 5 is they manage to get what it is they wanted. 6, there is a heavy price to pay for that. 7, you then return to their familiar situation, but 8, they have grown or they have changed in some way. This is more of a kind of TV-based style where you have to try to get everybody back to their normal starting situation. It does work with most films and most novels as well, is that people do like to get back home. But those are kind of the 8 points. And then where I think I can take why is the word interaction so hard for me to remember today? So where I think we can take the interaction from is on these points. So what is the zone of comfort? Where is this film? Where is this idea? and we can extrapolate from that to kind of the main points, right? So you're going to have setting, and then as part of setting you can break that down into the important parts where you can all, you know, so you can kind of go genre, place, whatever the other one is, I forget. But I can then ask for interaction, so I can go, okay, someone give me a genre, fantasy. Okay, give me a place, the Tower of London. All right, give me a time. What time is it? The future. All right, so we've got fantasy in the future in the Tower of London. All right, what characters do we have, and what is it they want? And the characters will probably be provided by me, with a kind of, I have something in mind if this ever blew up and people came to Patreon to support this. There is things I can then offer as rewards, which I would actually offer to the people on Patreon already, to see if there's any interest there for the characters. But what they want would definitely be open to interaction. Whether it's one person gives me an idea, whether we end up putting a poll up with the kind of more popular ideas, whatever it is, you will then give me what it is that they want, and it's up to debate whether we would try and do a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 season, if you like, kind of 6 episode season. I know I went to 5 last time, don't worry about it. What was I saying? Yeah, it's up to interpretation whether we do, not interpretation, debate. You can't interpret whether there's only one piece or 5 pieces. That's not up to interpretation. Whether we would say, okay, so we've got these characters, we've got this setting, this genre, this time, and then we go for every episode, okay, what is it they want this time? What is the unfamiliar situation they're thrown into? What is the heavy price that they have to pay for it? And then in that way, those are the kind of the 4 bits that everybody can jump in on every time. And then somehow we do kind of 6 episodes. And the way these episodes would work would very much be like this. So it would be me with a little bit more editing, a little bit more je ne sais quoi, telling the story. Now, I haven't decided yet whether that would involve me actually reading a script I've done, trying to do voices, whatever, or doing more of a kind of pitch idea. A kind of, I've forgotten the word for it, treatment. Doing a kind of treatment for it, which would basically be more like reading out a story from a book than it would be reading a script. I kind of want to do both. Because I want to get more into the performance side of stuff as well. That's a confidence thing on my part. It's a barrier I want to burst through, and I think this would be a good reason to do it. And then if I do the more performance side, if I then can get other people, whether they be real people who I can get to sit around a table locally, or if there's people out there who I get to know or already know who want to join in on the performance side of things, which would be fantastic, then we can do it that way. And I think that's probably the way that I would go. But there'd be a lot of improv to it, especially to the writing side. And I want to do the first one of those, and I don't know if there will be any input into the first one, or if I'll just try and do it myself and explain how it goes, because it's going to be messy, because the first one is going to have a lot of basically this setup, what I'm doing now, but done in a much better way with fancy graphics and fireworks and potatoes. And that's kind of what I want to do. And I want to try and get the first one of those done by Christmas. Well, for Christmas. It would be a Christmas special. And I have an idea in mind, which is the other reason why I kind of think, well, maybe I don't throw this one out to people, because they'll wreck it. It'll be like D&D all over again. They keep on wanting to put hedgehogs down their pants or whatever. But I probably will, at least in a very small, controlled style over on the Discord. Just to up the improv side of it. Lengthwise, I'm assuming each one would be somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes. As we take ideas from people, we would obviously give credit. Wherever it comes from. If it's from a poll, we would just say poll winner was this, so people know where it's from. and then work out how we then move on to the next week, or however often I'd be able to do them. Probably once every fortnight to start with, maybe even one a month, and then go from there, trying to do at least one a week, but we shall see. And basically that just ticked a number of boxes that I want to get back into my work day, which is writing, more the script side of writing, because we've already got the pro stuff on the website. The performance side, the more recording, the actual doing videos, which is a thing I really, really want to get back into, the editing, the recording, all that kind of stuff. And then a third thing, which we'll decide later, right? I will be honest, I had planned to do a more edited version of this introduction with the kind of text and the pictures and all that kind of stuff, but because of the weekend I've had and the fact that I wanted to get this out last weekend, but I also had a really bad weekend last weekend, I'm just kind of like, I'll do it my normal way, which is just talking at the camera, no edits, just so I can get it out there, see if there's any interest whatsoever, and then once I've said it, I'm at least going to have to try it. Whether or not you see it is a different thing, but if I do say I'm going to do something, I have always tried it. We have done a writing stream, I just haven't done very many. But again, if we do the kind of improv into the script side, the idea is there would be writing streams, because I would I write the script on Twitch, or would that ruin it? These are the questions we will need to answer as we go along, right? Yeah, that's that. Twitch side of things will probably stay fairly normal. We'll probably stick to the 7 hours until I decide what it is I want to do. If I do want to push for the 8, or if I want to split them. Honestly, I probably don't. I'll probably end up doing the morning for the writing stuff, and then the afternoons is streaming. The idea of later streams, which I was going to do, like starting at 10 or 12 or whatever, will probably never happen. Unless I feel like they really have to. Weekend streams will continue to be a thing. The weekend streams I may move later. Basically, on a Saturday, I've been doing a stream from roughly around noon till about 4. I am wondering if I should do that later, but we'll see. The reason I do it at the time that I do them is because it's a really convenient time for me, especially on the weekend. I can get stuff done in the morning. I can then have the kind of little break around lunchtime, and I can get some more stuff done in the afternoon. And when I mean stuff, I mean going to the shops, interacting with people, which every other day is getting harder and harder because I'm spending more time streaming and doing other work. So trying to make sure I do all of that kind of stuff on the weekend, especially now because I don't have a car, so I have to do a lot more walking and riding. Train of thought derailed, as always. But yeah, so I really want to make a big push. The be all and end all is pretty much exactly what I said at the start of this video, but it's almost half an hour later and I've bored you all to tears. Is this year has been absolutely incredible. The fact that we've managed to make it. Okay, yes, I've had to scrimp and save. And I'm incredibly thankful for all of the support, monetary support we're really talking about here, as well as all the other stuff. And I'm insanely appreciative of all the monetary support that people have given me that has made this possible. But what I do know, and I think what most of you probably know, is that it's not sustainable at the level that it is. So trying to find another way to bring income in while not harming the Twitch side, and while not trying to, for want of a much better term, milk the same people, which is a terrible turn of phrase, and I hope you realize I mean it in the nicest possible way, is to kind of grow the revenue base. Merchandise will be a thing that we will definitely push for next year. More merchandise, the shot glasses, working on them, trying to find a way that I can do them in a way that I can afford, which may, in all fairness, end up meaning that I have to order 100 sets of these shot glasses and then ship them out myself, because that seems to be the most cost-effective way of doing it. I'm willing to do it. We would just need to make sure that I can cover the cost of the original production run. And in all fairness, if that does become a way that the shop can work, I probably would just start ordering in bulk and sending out myself, because that is the way you make the most money as the person selling, if you do it that way. That's a decision for next year. That's something we'll move on to next year, as well as trying to get the writing stuff on a more regular basis. And these, I think the videos are kind of more appealing, and we may have to make them shorter even than the 10-15 minutes. I don't know how YouTube works. I don't know how people will take to sitting down and listening to an idiot talk in probably what he thinks are vastly different voices, but they all sound the same, in some kind of stupid story format. I have no idea. I've never done it. I've never tried to do it. I've never tried to understand the YouTube side of things. I would like to. I don't understand how to grow Twitch. I'm going to start looking into it, see if there's things we can do where I do not change much. You know, I still want it to be the same old Piece of Cake channel, but there must be ways, whether it's through networking or I don't know what, trying to get the word out there. You know, this channel exists, come watch it. It's pretty okay. I think that's going to be my new slogan. Anyway, stop talking, Cake. It's half an hour already. It's going to take fucking ages to upload. Again, thank you for everybody for the support on Twitch, for the support on Patreon. I will put links somewhere for all of the different ways where you can watch me, support me, follow me, whatever. Thank you everybody who's ever watched one of these videos, one of my streams, who's ever given me a single bit, who's given me a lot more than that. Won't name names, but I think you know who you are. And yeah, for just constantly turning up and watching. It really, really makes this possible. And if we're going to make it through 2020 like we've made it through 2019, I'm going to have to try a lot harder on the other stuff. I think I have Twitch down in the way that I want to present myself on Twitch. Trying to find ways to grow it is different. And then obviously, and it means I will be taking it in a more professional way. Not the change of content, but in the way I approach everything else. So, like possible, I've had a few offers for possible sponsorship, which I've turned down, which I think was correct. But there's also a lot that I've just ignored because I really don't think I'm at the stage where I want to be taking on the kind of responsibility of sponsorships. Or become known for someone who will change their, platform or their opinions just to please a sponsor, or even to be seen that could possibly be a case, so there's a lot of things I've got to think about there. And then the big thing is going to be pushing into YouTube. It probably will mean a new channel apart from my gaming one, which I may or may not keep going. I honestly don't know at this stage. Just moving the VODs over from Twitch is not a huge problem for me, so I probably will, but that's probably what that YouTube channel will become, is just it's VODs, with possibly the occasional review that I might do off stream, but that's becoming less and less likely as I put more time into the streaming side of things, whereas the other channel will be more about the writing stuff, tips, tricks maybe, because those get views, and the performance stuff and the kind of more self-created stuff, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I am going to stop talking. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I will probably do another one of these at some point in the future, but who the fuck knows. Also, I shouldn't swear on YouTube, but I don't get ad revenue anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. I can swear all the fuck I want. Have a good one. If I don't do one of these before Christmas, or the festive season, it's Christmas. It's Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. It's not Christmas if you don't, but it's still a nice season. Don't be twats about it. So have a good festive season. Have a good Thanksgiving for those who are still to celebrate their Thanksgiving, and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you all when I see you all. And yes, I do mean to see, because I spy on you all through your web cameras. And on that bombshell, I don't really. I don't have the technical savvy to do it. Or the will, or the want, or the energy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you continue to enjoy, and I hope that I get to make another one of these soon. And in fact, I hope I get to make another one of these in November 2020, and we're talking about what the fuck we're going to do next. Wouldn't that be great? Have a good one, everybody, and bye-bye for now.